with a goal of ending the nation's sole reliance on Russia in 2017.
This is a Thor News presentation. Hit the button, baby. Thor News presents Stay Cool.
Hey y'all, I'm back. After 16 straight days of working, I finally have a day off. And guess what I'm doing? I'm making a video. I don't consider making videos work. Why? Because I love making videos. And YouTube pays less than peanuts. So technically there's no way it's work. It's just fun. So let's have some fun. Alright, this is a Blue Pill Thor News episode. So I'm not asking, is the International Space Station actually in outer space in a way like, are they faking it and they just put up a giant shell into space so people can photograph it from the ground? And then, of course, they just show us everybody from a Hollywood basement. That's not the question I'm asking. The question I'm asking is it really in outer space? Because it apparently seems to be floating in low Earth orbit. And the short answer to that question is yes. The International Space Station is in outer space, but just barely. To use metaphors, the International Space Station is in outer space the same way if your ship landed on the beach of Florida and you never left the beach of Florida, you would be exploring America. Or the International Space Station is in space the same way receiving a hand job from somebody else is considered good sex. Now, without disrespect to the astronaut who will be spending a year in the International Space Station, I want to say sometimes I just sit there when I need something to think about and I go, hey, what is more boring? Repetitive pictures of Mars dirt or all the information we get from the International Space Station? And it's a coin flip, man. They're both, to me, totally boring. And as I've said before, if NASA just wanted to bore the people into not caring about outer space and what NASA's up to, they're doing a fine job. Because it's like, hey, look, we took a science project up to the International Space Station to find out if sunflower seeds could grow in outer space, and hey, guess what? They can. Now, the most fascinating story is about a year ago, a Russian cosmonaut said that he found growing algae on the outside of the spaceship, which should be impossible, and that story is quickly buried. But that is not the story we're covering today. Today, all we're covering is basically the International Space Station is in low space. And NASA's pretty much doing the outer space limbo. Like, how low can you go? Well, officially, to be in outer space, you have to get over 100 kilometers. Because that is the basic national rule for what outer space is, 100 kilometers up. And the ISS floats around 300 kilometers up. So yeah, it's in space, but just barely. So that way, NASA gets to say, hey, look, see, we're in outer space. Even though they can't get to outer space, they have to hire out either SpaceX or the Russians to deliver our people up and down, you know? So that's kind of lame. It's still just sad to me that human space exploration is about as dead as JFK. You can also argue that Operation Paperclip, where we took a bunch of Nazis, brought them over to America, and a lot of those Nazis were on the early NASA roster. Combine that with the death of JFK. Hey, guess what? Our human exploration, our human space explorations, wings have been clipped since we left the moon in 1972. We don't plan to go to Mars till 2030, so that's a 58-year gap in human space exploration. But still, NASA's going to wave their pom-poms and be like, yay, we explore space with our International Space Station. And so now everybody's all excited, like, yay, he's going to be up in the space station for a year. And I'm like, man, that's so boring, you know? Okay. But another funny thing is the first component of the International Space Station was launched in 1998. Now, remember when NASA said, hey, we can't go back to the moon because it is too hard and it is too expensive. Well, hey, guess what? They've spent over $500 billion on this International Space Station. That doesn't sound cheap to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have much rather spent $2 trillion, put a base on the moon. You know, that would have been way cooler. And hey, why don't we launch like 10 Walmart parking lot space cameras and drop them on the moon so we can watch 24-hour feeds nonstop? of the moon. That'd be cool, huh? You don't even get 24-hour nonstop feeds of the International Space Station. They cut shit every time something cool comes in the frame, from what I understand. I guess I should cover the Black Knight satellite someday. But there you go. Technically, NASA is correct that technically the International Space Station is in outer space. So it's almost like the D- of outer space. So congratulations on your D-, NASA. Now please continue to wow us with photos of Mars dirt and running this dude spending a year in the International Space Station storing it into the ground. I would like to know, have any astronauts had sex in the International Space Station? You guys need to test out if you can have babies in space, or if you can get erections in space, if you can have orgasms in space. That's stuff I'd like to know. The International Space Station, ISS, is a space station or a habitable artificial satellite in low Earth orbit. It is a modular structure whose first component was launched in 1998. Now the largest official body in orbit, it can often be seen with the naked eye from Earth. What about the Black Knight satellite? How big is that thing? And if you noticed, everybody took pictures of the International Space Station occulting the eclipse that happened the other day. But even though the ISS was in perfect position to take perfect photographs, that did not happen. I get excited because maybe one day the ISS would have the technology to take video of the full eclipse. But that day is not today. It probably won't be tomorrow. Probably won't be anytime soon. Why? All I say is why ask why. Go drink beer. All right. God bless you. God bless everyone. Have a great weekend. I'll do another video. It'll probably be better. So forgive me. Or don't. Some of you people are hard to please. Me, I'm simple. I'm real simple. Asterisk.